BSHL fans, and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. This is our last week of regular season games, so be sure to get out and support your local team. Now, let's get these playoffs underway. Here's your hosts, Corey and Corey.
Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast.
All right, well, you know what? Corey just did the intro, so there's that.
He was taking too much time.
Finish it.
He's your host, Corey. I'm the other guy, Corey, was spelled correctly.
Thank you to Adam Story for the intro. Thank you to Corey for being a douchebag.
How many jump scares do you think that's going to get?
I don't know. Might get you one or two for sure. I hope not too bad. God.
The only thing that would have been worse is if you would have been able to see my face. Then just unsubscribe right there. Don't want to see that. Don't want to hear that. You know, you're welcome, everybody.
It was horrifying. I was turning off my heater, so I had the heat on. I was turning it down a little bit so that the fan wouldn't be shooting into the mic on the thing. And Corey just did the intro, so we're fine with it. How you doing, Corey?
I'm throat's a little itchy now that since I screamed into my mic. You're gonna have some problems clipping that out.
I'll find a way to bring it down a little bit in volume. Yeah, I'm doing well as well. We're heading into the last weekend of the regular season.
That's why I did it. I'm so excited.
Season 2 of the podcast is about halfway done. The playoffs are the other half of the year, let's be honest.
It really is, though, huh? Because there's as many games, I think.
Yeah, the playoffs are almost as long as the regular season, so not quite.
No.
The playoffs are 2 solid months. Regular season's 3 solid months, so a little more, but it's teams play more. It's more condensed. So
yeah, like that stat you told me last year about the Lumberjacks that they played more.
They played one more playoff game than regular season games.
That just blew my mind right there. Because what was it last year? 18 games.
Yeah, something like that, and they would have played 7, 14, 20. So they played 2 more games in the playoffs.
2 more games. That's bananas.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, but interesting. Hopefully next year we see the River Valley Lumberjacks back in the league.
Would be nice to go back to Doketown. I do miss that arena. I do miss those burgers.
I miss having that team. There's a lot of good players there that we're lucky they've found other homes for the year, but still, as we head into the playoffs, you know, let's talk a little bit about underdogs and favorites. And last year, I know we kind of thought Dalhousie had a shot at it. They were probably my favorite going into the playoffs. Never thought they would be facing the Lumberjacks. So sometimes those underdogs can really shock you.
They can.
Who's the favorite this year, Corey?
JC's.
The JCs. Can you hesitate a little bit, please?
Here's the thing. They could fall in second place. They could.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a few of those games where Alex Collette wasn't there. He was suspended or just didn't play. Colette's been on fire this year, and I think that's your ace in the hole when it comes to the JCs. I think the Marauders probably second, maybe tied for second with the Hawks, in my opinion. I think the Hawks have a great team. I think Dalhousie has a great team. That's why I said last week or last episode that they're equal to me. Like, they're really equal to me. There are games where they pump the Hawks, and there are games where the Hawks pump them. So I think Miramichi, you know, that would be the next one. And I think the real underdog, the Lumberjacks of this year, we could say, might be the Ducks.
Why the Ducks?
Why not the Ducks? They're a good team. They got a hell of a good goaltender. They got a young core. And, you know, you need a team to surprise you like that. And going that short-handed into Rishabukto and beating the Hawks 4-1, who saw that coming?
Me, apparently, because I made that prediction properly. I do think that the favorites this year, I think the favorites this year are the JCs. I think they played a lot of their games early, so they've had an easy January. when a lot of other teams have played a fair bit this month.
Yeah.
So you look at like the Marauders, who've seemingly come out of nowhere. A few weeks ago, they were in like 3rd or 4th place, and now they're in a battle for 1st. I think it's very interesting, but I think the favorite is still the JCs. I'm going to agree with you that the dark horse this year, the River Valley Lumberjack potential this year, is the Amherst Ducks. I think there's the right mix of veterans with guys like Spears or Dean, Renee George, Jesse Colborn, and then you've got those young guys, the Jaden Mathesons and the Lancelot brothers. I think it's a very interesting team. See, here's the thing though. In the first round, they've got to face the Hawks or the Northmen, more than likely not. They could have to face. No, it's the Hawks or the Northmen, I think.
Yeah.
So that's tough because Miramichi's not a team you can sleep on. Miramichi's had a rough last few weeks. They've also had not great rosters the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So I think if more guys show up, the Northmen become a contender in this.
Which team do you think would be, and I don't want to insult with this question, but which team do you think the Ducks would have more of a chance against?
Wow.
Because it's $1 million question.
I think it's going to be Miramichi.
They beat the Hawks twice, though. One of those games doesn't count. I get it. But
they faced 2 out of 3 games. They have a chance to beat them 3 times this year on Friday.
There you go.
I think come playoffs, Dan Vautour's Dan Vautour.
Yep.
Dan Vautour is a solid goalie all year. He's not a bad goalie. He's going to win you some games. You can put a lot of pucks on him. He's going to win you games. Jason Ryu in the playoffs last year was an absolute freaking beast. Dude's a tank. Game 7 versus the Hawks win that game without Ryu. Period. I think he carried them through that Miramichi series, and I think he's the reason that Dalhousie didn't just blow them over. So I think that's, if we see the Ryu of last playoffs, I don't think you want to face the Hawks.
I'm gonna do a bold prediction.
Oh God.
And say that the best player on the Hawks during the playoffs is going to be Jason Ryu. I think the way he played last year in the playoffs was we got some damn good goaltending in the BSHL. Welsh, Collette, Ryu, Vautour, even Laundry and Thibault in the Peninsula. They're great goalies. You know,
when you think about guys that have been to the finals, obviously the Northmen or the Marauders have a team full of them for the most part, other than 2 or 3 additions. But the Hawks have this mix of Lumberjacks that were there last year, and most of that Hawks roster was there 2 years ago.
Yep.
With the exception of a few imports, there's a lot of experience in the playoffs. I think I agree with you that Ryu could be the player of the playoffs. I think I look at a guy like Danik Crate, who really stepped it up in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Like, this guy wants to win. In the regular season, you'll see flashes of brilliance and whatever. In the playoffs, Danik's a different level of beast.
Yeah, he didn't get to play last year.
He didn't get to play last year because he was injured after that Amherst or Spring Hill game. I think Trey Lewis is the kind of guy that come playoffs, Trey kind of digs a little bit deeper. He plays a little bit grittier. He pinches it a little more offensively. You're gonna, if you haven't enjoyed BSHL playoffs before, come on out and check it out, because man, there's nothing. Senior hockey's fun until January. Senior hockey's another level come playoffs. Nobody's fucking around. Nobody's coasting. Everybody's battling every game. And we saw that last week with the Ducks. The Ducks played like a playoff team. That Marauders Hawks game, that was a playoff game. Both teams were giving it the entire time.
Now, you were talking about Danik Kret and Trey Lewis. There's one guy from the Hawks that you can look at last year too, Robbie Graham.
Oh, yeah.
There is a moment in the first overtime, and I've said this 1,000 times on this show.
And we've gone back and looked at it a few times.
We've gone back and looked at it where if he shoots it a little to the left or a little to the right, the Hawks are on to the second round. That's shorthanded. When Corey says, without Jason Ryu, they're not making it, it's not an insult. But you look at how shorthanded they were, the Hawks. Arsenault got taken out of the game. Kret was injured. Mac Brown fought, so he was out of the game. So you literally have Robbie Graham sucking for some oxygen, digging so deep down to try and find bursts of energy. And he gets that close in that first overtime. And it went to a second overtime, let's just say that the Lumberjacks never come back. That's a hell of a run for them that year. There's great memories for them.
I'm excited, man. I can't believe it's only a week away. We're getting ahead of ourselves, though. There are still 4 games left this year.
We do.
You want to get into those games and do our predictions?
Yes, sir. So on Friday, the LC Puck Duck Hawks, they will be in Amherst. 7:30 is that game. That same night, the Peninsula, they will be in Miramichi. 8:15 will be that game. No games on Saturday. So on Sunday, the Dalhousie Marauders, they will be in Bucktouche. 6:45 is that game. And Miramichi will be in the Peninsula at 7 p.m.
The league website said that the Hawks have third place locked up. So they can't move down to fourth. They can't move up to second. So that's the only position that's figured out right now.
So when I was talking with Rocker, a guy that works at the Rishabuktu Arena, I asked him, how does this work with the standings? And he goes, we need 1 point to clinch third. I go, okay. And then you tell me this. I'm going to agree with the website. But, it was razor thin. If the Hawks are the only team clinched right now, do the Hawks, like we talked about this a little bit before we started recording, do the Hawks bring a full roster to Amherst, or do they rest up some guys?
I think they bring a full roster. I go back to 2 years ago when the Hawks were dominant. To the last game of the year, they just kept rolling with the full team, keep that chemistry high. I don't think we see anything different. Do the Hawks want to beat Amherst? Do the Hawks want to face the Peninsula? I mean, there's a lot of questions there for me. I don't know. I think the Peninsula has a lot of experience. They're a really good team, but I don't think I want to face the Ducks. I don't know what I'm going to get out of the Ducks. I know what I'm going to get out of the Peninsula. You got a lot of experience. You're going to have to battle a lot. You're going to see some good goaltending. You're going to see another level of play from guys like the Bezos and Pat Jones and this year Carl Saunier, these vets. But who knows what we'll see from the Ducks.
Yeah. Are the Bezos even, is Billy Bezos still playing?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a long time, and the Corsair, they released their roster for this Friday, and neither Bezo will be there.
I haven't seen their roster for this Friday. I'm kind of curious now. They're released that early. My God.
Early, yeah.
I'm going to go take a look at that, Corey. Who do you think the Hawks would want to face in the first round?
The Hawks already lost twice to Amherst, and they've dominated the Peninsula. So if I'm the Hawks, no disrespect to the Peninsula, I'd probably want to face the Peninsula.
Well, look at that. They did post their lineup.
What? Think I'm a liar or something?
No, I definitely didn't see it. Brady Americans. Yeah, you're definitely missing a few guys there. Yeah. No Pat Jones either.
I didn't even notice that.
But Kelsey Tessier is there. Good lineup, but definitely missing a few key guys. That's the thing with the Peninsula. There's a depth there that's kind of insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, I think they definitely have had their way with the Peninsula this year. So I suppose based on that, you'd probably rather face the Peninsula. I still think they're going to go into Amherst, battle, try to get a win. Let's not forget that the Ducks have been stellar at home. So you want to beat them at home. take them down a notch, show them that they're not going to beat you like that at home and not have repercussions. Do you think the Marauders can beat the JCs and break their 9-0, make them 9-1 at home?
Depends who they're bringing. If both guns are loaded and you got Valcourt, you got Jessico, you got Peltier, you got Joey, you got everybody, and your defenseman Francis and JJ and everybody, I think you can. Yeah, you got to imagine that Bucktouche will have Colette in net. They want to finish first. I think finishing first. The only advantage there is you get home advantage for every series. I think it's more of a statement thing. Like, we're number one. Like, I think the JCs really, like, last year we finished dead last. This year we're going to finish number one. And I think for Dalhousie, I think it's playing spoiler and like, oh, you thought you were going to be number one, but we're number one again.
If you're Dalhousie, I think you want home ice. It's a major disadvantage to make teams travel all the way out to Dalhousie.
Oh, yeah.
Every team that gets there, they're a little bit tired from the bus ride. It's a hard rink to play in. You got air horns installed in the ceiling and in the roof. There's air horns under the ice, I think. There's an air horn on the Zamboni. Every time Travis farts, I hear an air horn go off. It's unreal the amount of air. Like, it's just not a pleasant arena to play in as a visiting fan.
Yeah.
Or a visiting player. Or a visiting fan. You don't want to be there as a visiting fan. Talk to Chantel and Richard and we'll go in there as a visiting fan. It ain't a good time. But, the people are great, but you definitely, that's a tough rink. So I think Dalhousie wants first more than Bucktouche does.
You do?
And does that? Yeah, I genuinely do. Although, to be fair, Bucktouche finished well 2 years ago. They lost in El Spukduk Game 7. That rink was nuts. If that game's in Bucktouche, does Bucktouche win that game? Maybe. Home ice matters in this league way more than it should.
See, there are a few series, like if we ever find time and you can do series breakdowns, there are two series that I want to do more than any other. One is that Hawks JC's finals. The other one is the 7-game just massacre in the peninsula.
Yeah.
Where they ran out of beer.
They ran out of beer, double overtime.
Those are probably my two favorite series that I've seen in the BSHL. Just the fans. There's something about a good old-fashioned hockey rivalry. I hate you, you hate me, and that's the way it should be. You know what I mean?
No, I get you. I'm definitely hoping to see LC and Bucktouche this year. I'm hoping to see the Peninsula in Dalhousie this year. Like, those are the rivalries you want to see. The one series that we've never seen that I want to see so bad is LC and Miramichi.
That could easily be the finals.
It would have to be the finals, I believe. Yeah, that could be a hell of a series for me.
If that ends up being the finals, I'm not putting money on anything because they've proven that both teams can beat both teams at any given time. In LC, LC's won. In LC, Miramichi's won. In Miramichi, LC's won. And in Miramichi, Miramichi's won. I think they split the series this year, right? They're 2-2, right?
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but
I'm almost certain.
I believe you if you say that. I will check right now. So the first game was in LC. LC won. The second game was in Miramichi. Miramichi won. Third game was in LC. Miramichi won.
Yep.
And the last game was in Miramichi and LC won. So no. LC won 3 out of the 4.
Look back at that.
God dang it. Yeah, never mind. Yep, you're right. They split them both. Yep, carry on. All right. That didn't happen. Screw you, bro.
Yeah, there you go. You're still frazzled that I took the opening thing there.
There you go. So yeah, no, I agree.
Deal.
I think that would be a phenomenal series though. Hopefully we see it one of these years. I don't think we're seeing it this year. I don't think this is the year.
No.
It would have been a great first round matchup, though. Woo.
It would have. Let's look into the crystal ball into next year. I know playoffs haven't even started. What do teams look like next year? Like, do we still get these 6 teams? Do we get more?
There's definitely rumors of more teams wanting to join. I've heard rumors of more teams wanting to join. I don't know if we can sustain this level of competition financially. I don't know that teams can keep this up. It's not cheap to bring in these big names. So while your attendance does go up pretty steeply, I don't know. I personally, to keep it competitive for every team, in my opinion, something needs to change. I would love to welcome back the Lumberjacks. I'd love to welcome back some more teams around the province. I think senior hockey is too good to not share it with more areas. Yeah. Like, I'd love to see a team back in Memram Cook. I know we came close last year. I love that arena. I love that,
Never been
community. Like, I love that community. I'm there for work on a semi-regular basis, and I'd love to go there for hockey. But I don't know. I can't look in the crystal ball too far as predicting who could face who's going to be good, or what's going to look like what, until we know how many teams there are.
Yeah. And
does the import rule change? There's a lot of what ifs and maybes, so it's hard. I hope there's still Beausejour Senior Hockey League hockey next year. I hope there's still senior hockey next year. Yeah. It feels like it's a bubble that's going to burst, and we're right on that cusp. So I hope we pull back a little bit, make sure all the teams are healthy, everybody's making some money, and we can keep moving forward. But for now, I can tell you this has been one of the best seasons of hockey I've seen in senior hockey. This is going to be one of the best playoffs that we'll ever see in our lifetime. And we still have to make 4 more predictions for the regular season before we get to there.
Just about to say that. So you want to get into the predictions?
Yeah, sure.
So LC
what did I go last week again?
You were 3-0.
I just wanted to check. Yeah, okay.
Dick. LC and Amherst.
I think Amherst. I think Amherst wins it at home.
Okay. I also have Amherst. Why?
There's just a good team at home. I'm not sure what the LC roster is going to look like now, knowing that they locked up third place. Do they leave a couple guys home? You know, does somebody come down with mystery COVID? I don't know. I got the sniffles. I got to stay home. I don't feel well. This game don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter for LC's placement, but it does matter for Amherst's placement. And if you want to face Amherst in the first round, you want to pump him here, and then you get to face him in the first round. If you'd rather face Peninsula, maybe you go in with a late lineup. Who knows?
Yeah. Same reasons. I think it's one team that needs it, not necessarily wants it, but needs it more than the other. So which team is going to do a little better? Probably the team that needs it.
Can I say that I kind of hope the Ducks win this game, and I hope the Peninsula loses at least once this weekend, because I want to see Miramichi face Amherst for the 3rd year in a row.
Same.
I'd love that as a first-round matchup for the 3rd year in a row.
I think that would be the top series in the first round. I know there's only 2, but I think that would be the top one.
Yeah, easy to sell that, man. Like they've each won 1 series. Here we go. Let's battle it out. Best of 5. I know they're not the coal miners anymore, but I'll always love that Donair burger.
And so much.
You know, I think for the playoffs, hell with it. Come on out, Buck. Let's have some fun. You know, I think Buck the Duck. Check him out on Facebook if you haven't already. I don't know. I think that's the series that I want to see. So I'm hoping for an Amherst win here for that reason.
So next up, the Peninsula in Miramichi.
I can't say that and not say Miramichi here, and hoping that Miramichi wins to stay in 4th place.
Yeah. I also have Miramichi.
Miramichi.
I said that like a little French fuck.
Miramichi. I have Miramichi.
I remember when I started watching Japanese wrestling, there's a wrestler called Naomichi Mirafuji. And I used to say Miramichi.
There we go. Let's do Miramichi in the Peninsula again next.
Okay, so Miramichi in the peninsula.
I have. So if the Ducks win, I have the peninsula here.
I have Miramichi.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I don't think this one changes too much standings wise. I have the peninsula. They'll still be in last place, 1 point behind the Ducks, and then we will see Miramichi face the Ducks.
So final one is Bucktouche and
You can't write it better.
Dalhousie.
You can't write it better. Sunday night, the biggest rink in the league, the JK, beautiful rink.
Number 1 and number 2 fighting for number 1.
I love it.
Love it.
Fucking love it. I have. You go first.
Bucktouche.
You have Bucktouche?
They're at home. They. You say that Dalhousie wants it more. You listen to that JC's crew, and number 1 is important to them. It's very important. It puts a statement there.
Number 1's important to the Marauders too, though.
It is. I'm not saying it's not.
I have the Marauders. Let's make it fun.
Dalhousie.
I think, first of all, I think Travis is going to text me and be like, "Why the fuck did you pick us?" But
I know you will.
That's my feeling.
So for you have Amherst, Miramichi, Dalhousie in the peninsula. I have Amherst, Miramichi, Bucktouche, and Miramichi, or Miramichi. Corey's already won the predictions game. He's 38-17. I'm 27-28. There's only 4 games left. I can't catch up. Your new champion is Corey.
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad. I'd like to thank my sister.
Your uncle.
No, I'd like to thank Adam Story.
Adam Story, that's a good one.
For his support. I would like to thank Little Story. She's always been a podcast follower.
Yeah.
And supporter. So, Little Story. Her name's Lily, but I'd rather just call her Little Story. Short Story if you prefer, but she's not that short. Mm-hmm. She's taller than you, Corey.
Taller than me. That's not
fair.
She's
taller than you. I would like to thank all of my coworkers at Hospice Southeast New Brunswick. Please play our 50-50. Support Hospice. We need your support.
What about my mom?
Oh yeah, big fan of your mom. She makes the bidand. Mm-hmm. So I love your mom. I'd like to thank my mom again, if that's possible.
Yeah, it's very
video.
Possible.
I'd like to thank Camera.
Camera.
I'd like to thank the Zamboni drivers all around the league. That one's for you, Tracy. She's never going to listen to this.
No thanking Tracy, though?
Nah, she doesn't really. She's not that great. She's fine. I don't want to let her go to her head too much. No, I think
your uncle.
Egger?
Yeah.
Nah, man. You know what? I got Egger's hairline. So my grandma I love my great grandma. Egger's mom. So they grew up on Kennard Street in Richard-Bucto, way up Kennard, one of the last houses on the left. When I was a kid, I used to bike up.
It's like a horror story.
No, it was scary. I used to bike up there when I was a kid, and go spend time with my great grandma. And she passed away during the O.J. Simpson trial.
Okay.
So I'd go just randomly. It was a long time ago. Yeah, and so I'd go there and watch the O.J. Simpson trial with her. I was like fucking 10. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but she was really into it, and she passed away before it finished. I'll never forget that. She was just a sweet lady. I loved her.
You think she would have been upset that OJ walked free?
Yes. Oh yeah. She thought OJ was guilty. 100%. So she would have been shocked by that turn of events. That's about all I think that we've got this week. Corey, you got anything else to add?
Yes, I do.
All right, fine.
Can't believe you forgot about this.
Standings? What?
Points leaders.
All right.
So our goals leader with 14 goals is Logan Timmins. And unless there's a miracle and we have 1,000 fucking goals in whatever a game, it's more than likely that the forwards points leader will also be the points leader in general this year. Pascal Valcourt with 32 points. I believe he is like 7 or 8 points ahead of number 2.
Yeah, he's 7 points ahead of Jessica.
So there you go. It would be the Marauders no matter what. But I think there was like a tie for 2, right?
Jessica and Brendan Milson and Brody MacArthur, all 25.
D points leader. We have a tie here with 17 points. Danik Kret and Tommy Bezo. Bezo is not there on Friday, so if it's literally both guys getting a game, but I believe there are some Miramichi defensemen that could surpass them.
Yeah,
but 17 points.
Yep.
And goalie wins, and he will finish. Number 1 is Alex Collette with 11, maybe 12 if he wins.
Exactly, he might get a 12th. It's unlikely that anybody passes, but we'll see what happens. Danny Crate, 17 points. Tommy Bizzo, 17 points as well. Francis Thibault with 15. He did just have a 4-point game.
He did.
You never know.
You never know. But yeah, other than that, players of the week have already been put on the Facebook page. We had Pascal Valcourt, Jessica Bernard, and Joey Bernard, right? Francis Thibault and Yannick Béliveau, and in net was Matt Welsh with a 46 stop on 47 shots. So now that's it on my page.
All right. We're gonna throw now. We've got the Zamboni review coming up next.
Boney review?
Boney review night.
I'll make sure to have some popcorn ready when I listen to this.
God help me. So we'll be throwing to that now. We'll be back on Tuesday. Next time we're back, we'll know what the full playoff picture looks like. We'll only be days away from the start of the playoffs. Listen, you fucker, you stole my intro. So
yes, I did. I'll let you steal my outro.
No, you can have it. I don't need it.
Okay.
Thanks for being here, everyone. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Take care, bitch. Welcome to Tracy's Zamboni review. This is the second last regular season Zamboni review.
Man.
Might be the last one if you don't get to any games this weekend.
That's true. And I went out to one game this past weekend, and you can hear it. I'm more nasally than normal.
It's just saying something.
I know.
You might get to Bucktouche this week to see Dalhousie and Bucktouche, the battle for first.
Yes, exciting.
What's so as the regular season winds down? What's your favorite moment from this regular season?
Whew. So I was talking to Adam Story, our intro.
The Adam Story?
The Adam Story.
Holy shit.
Only
review.
And we were just talking about how fast this regular season has gone by.
Yeah.
There have been some, I haven't been able to get to a lot of games, but the games that I have gotten to, that first Amherst game, Welsh shutout. I know the season probably hasn't gone exactly the way they wanted it to, but
Welsh has been a story.
An Adam story.
It's been an Adam story.
And then you just have the dramatics of some of the teams that,
for better or for worse.
Exactly. And though I would be remiss if I don't mention Colette's first BSHL shutout.
It's a good moment. It's a good moment.
Amazing.
And then he had his second.
Exactly. Away and at home.
No. Once you pop the cherry, though, it's easier.
Okay, moving on.
Boney review. What game did you get to this week?
Dalhousie versus the Hawks in Timbuktu.
Beautiful little town. I got an Irish there. I'm sorry. I don't do accents very well.
No, they all sound the same.
Fucking hell. That was my French accent, just so you all know.
So if anybody has gone to the Kent North Arena, more likely than not, you have witnessed the Zamboni driver there who likes to back up like when he comes onto the ice. Now, to be fair to him, that's kind of how the Zamboni is positioned to come back onto the ice. Why are you reading your phone?
I was just responding to the story, Adam's story, really quick.
Adam's story is going to be very upset that you took time away from the Boney review to message him. He would say, no.
Focus.
I can wait.
Okay.
But anyway, so I call him the backup king. He's very good at backing up. He actually this time had to go to the far end of the ice near the net. I thought he was putting the net because nobody moved the nets, right? And of course, this is after warm up. I don't remember if I said that. But he didn't get off the Zamboni. And I had to look away because I was sharing Foster's stream of the game. And when I looked back up, the nets were moved. And so I could only assume the Kent North has elves or ninjas.
Elves or ninjas?
Yep.
Not the second Zamboni guy who got on the ice and moved the nets?
Well,
the happy helper guy?
Then I saw the elf. And he was helpful.
Very helpful.
Helpful elf. Yep.
Helpful elf.
But as is kind of tradition with the Zamboni driver, he missed a spot. It always ends up being the same spots, too. So I think he has his path, and he does it.
Deducting points?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we get to first intermission. Again, big backup all the way to the second blue line.
Beep, beep. Just backing it up.
Then I needed a bathroom break, so I missed the whole thing. But I did notice there were some spots. So, deduction.
Deductions again.
Yep.
Bathroom wins, though. You gotta go to the bathroom.
That's true. Toilet paper at the Kent North, not nearly as good as the JK. Say what you will about the Irvings, but I appreciate any place that is sponsored by them.
Two-ply.
Scott.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
Say no more.
Well, I'm trying not to. Second intermission. I noticed it was a Zamboni brand. It's funny the things I noticed, throughout the game. I didn't notice it the first couple times.
The Zamboni is Zamboni brand Zamboni?
Yeah. But not vintage looking like at the JK.
It's a brand new one.
Oh.
It's it's not a ice resurfacer.
Oh.
It's a Zamboni.
Oh. Well, la-ti-da.
I know.
Yeah, and again, missed the same spot. So I really think it's either superstition or his good luck charm to the Hawks. It worked that night.
Didn't work on Sunday.
Yeah, we won't talk about Sunday because I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's fair. You always like to get out and see Dalhousie.
Yes.
And the Hawks. Who's your favorite player in the Beausejour Senior Hockey League?
I know who you want me to say.
Oh, you say who your favorite player is. I don't care who it is.
Jaden Matheson.
Oh. Well, that's a good one. Why do you like Jaden?
Because he chirps you and the other Corey all the time.
How the fuck is that? Kyle McCarthy chirps us more.
Well, Kyle McCarthy's my second favorite.
The Ducks chirp us a lot. I don't know what that is.
I can't wait until Buck the Duck starts chirping you.
Don't put that into the world.
The duck. Buck the
Don't
duck.
put that out there. Are you gonna try to come to a game this weekend, or you're pretty resigned that you're not?
No,
you won't be in Amherst or Miramichi on Friday.
No.
Will you be watching Roxanne's stream or the High Button stream?
Might be both.
Might be watching both.
I've done that a few times.
What do you call that when you watch them both?
Double.
Double. Very nice. That's good. That's good.
We shifted the conversation, but I did want to say that the Dalhousie versus Elsipogtog game on that Friday was probably, if I could ask for the perfect game for me, it would be that game.
Why?
You had big goals, big misses, big arguments. It was
slashes on the back of the leg, all kinds of good stuff.
Heads almost coming on.
Nobody likes each other.
But the plays were good.
You had a bald water boy.
I mean, Well,
I just want
as
to say right
opposed to
now,
a bald photographer.
hey now, keep that out of there. As we record this today on Wednesday, what's the date today? We're going to take a peek. January the 15th.
Yes.
It is Travis Robichaux's 34th birthday today.
Well, are we gonna sing to him?
Would you like to?
Does he actually listen to this?
Oh,
podcast?
every episode.
Oh, okay.
He'll probably listen to it tomorrow. As soon as I send it to him, he'll listen to it.
All right.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear T-Dog. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Yay. First time that we've sang happy birthday to somebody, I think, during a Boney review.
Yes. Well, I mean, that could be a new thing. You have a birthday, you want us to sing? Let us know.
Send
we'll
us
call
the
it the
name.
birthday Boney review song. Anyway,
That's
doesn't matter.
catchy. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks, Tracy, for
Yes.
for that. We're gonna hope that the dog didn't get into any garbage while we were in here recording, because that's what he's been doing lately.
Yes.
And we'll be back next week, hopefully, possibly. We don't know.
We'll make it.
Then it'll be playoff Boney review time.
Ooh, and I'll be in Oakville though.
Oh.
First weekend.
That's okay. Second weekend.
Yeah.
You should try to. I'll FaceTime you, and
Yes.
you can watch a Zamboni, and then you can be on the first episode. Boney
You
review.
can't stop talking to your little fan base long enough to FaceTime.
My friends.
Yeah.
They're my friends.
I have a podcast.
Stop. I don't know. That Tracy has this voice that she does to mock me, and it's not very nice.
You don't be funny. Stay fresh, cheese bag.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Yeah.
Bye.